Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of World Cup के Super Gurus. And today I have a very special guest. He's more famous in India than his own native country. Yes, you might have guessed it by now. I'm talking about Jonty Rhodes. Jonty, good evening and welcome to the show.
Vijay, how are you, brother?
I'm very good and nice to have you back in India.
It's good to be back. As you can tell by my very bright and sparkly shirt, I'm based in Goa, and no, not the party Goa. I'm deep in the south. It's the beach and the village and the jungle kind of Goa. So yes, good to be back in India.
You are in a quiet place, but the World Cup is not going that quiet for South Africa. What is your take on South Africa?
Yes, I mean, a very positive start to the tournament, two clinical performances and great all-round performances. And I think at a World Cup, especially in a country like India, you got to have all departments firing. And that's all three of them. We've seen Australia against South Africa. Australia put down six drop catches. And, at this level of the game, no matter who you're playing against, I mean, South Africa playing against the Netherlands now and in all sorts of trouble. Netherlands have worked really hard to get into this tournament, and they certainly are a team that wants to create at least one big upset.
On this platform, we talk about a few segments. The first segment, there's a game that we are discussing here is India against Bangladesh. Top 3 picks for this game. You can combine the 3 picks from the both sides. Which are your top 3 picks?
Well, I just think Bangladesh first, won the toss. It's quite interesting because Bangladesh in the last year, I mean, other than when they tour in India, they have a terrible track record of playing ODIs in India. In fact, the worst of most of the sides. But they are a team who, since 2021, they've had really good sort of power play bowlers. They've taken 3 wickets plus, I think second only after India. They've also got great middle order batters you've got good averages, not great strike rates, because that also tells you something that possibly that they lose wickets up front, and that middle order where all the experience lies in the batting stitches it together and they build through. They just don't have the power in their batting at the end, we've seen. So from that point of view, my picks are one of the bowlers in the power play. So I'm going to go with Mr. Fazir because he's got great skill sets when he plays. He's playing at Chennai. There's a bit of turn. We know the wicket can grip. So for him, if he's bowling first, especially in the day, as opposed to in the evening when there's a bit of dew, he could grip it. I think Shakib Al Hasan is such a competitor that he is certainly somebody, and he's got the opportunity as the all-rounder with both bat and with ball to make a contribution. The third pick I'm going to have is going to be Shakib Al Hasan as the boxer. I reckon he's going to come out and have a few verbals with somebody. He's quite a fired-up guy. He's a senior player, and I think if he feels the game is slipping away from Bangladesh, he's going to get in there. He's going to mix it with a couple of the Indian guys. So watch that space.
So Jonty, you have picked up Bangladesh. I'm going to go with the Indians. My first pick will be Shubman Gill. He's somebody who's, before he got sick, he was among the runs. He's somebody who's in phenomenal touch, and Pune wicket is going to suit him. There's no doubt about that, and he can give us that sort of a start. And he needs a big inning. He needs to join the party. Then the other guy again is Kuldeep. I've been backing him in almost every game because his numbers in the middle overs is a game changer as far as in team is concerned. From 11th over to 40th over, if you have the wicket taking options there, then you can control the game, and that's what Kuldeep has done so far. And fast bowling department, I would see Mohammad Shami, although he's not played a single game yet, but I'm putting my money on Mohammad Shami to get a game at least next game when India get into the park. So these are my 3 picks, and let's see how it goes. All right, the next segment is where we talk about dressing room diaries. You've been all over the world, and not only in your dressing room, you're wanted in other dressing rooms as well. So you gotta share something with us.
My dressing room story would go back to the 1999 Cricket World Cup in England, the semi-final where we played against the Australians at Edgbaston. Lance Klusener was having the most incredible tournament. In fact, it was a contest within a contest. I think one of the newspapers had run a charitable foundation drive where any bowler that got Lance Klusener out, they would donate £1,000 to that bowler's favorite charity. I mean, he was just every single game unbeaten. So we were certainly a team on top. In fact, we as a team weren't playing that well. I mean, we were playing decent cricket, but Lance the Zulu Klusener was just in phenomenal form and just won games from very tough situations. So when we had the semi-final and we were chasing Australia's score, and he and Alan Donald were involved in a mix-up, and Alan ran and turned back and dropped his bat, and Lance completed the run, and Alan was kind of lost halfway in the middle of the pitch. The Australians were all running around. It was quite an emotional time for us because we all, interestingly enough, in that game, we'd almost packed our bags away because nobody believed that we could win the game from the situation we were in. And we as cricketers, we're all very superstitious. So when you find a seat and there's a partnership, no matter where you are, what you're doing, you stay there. When the partnership develops, you stay. Because if you get up and heaven forbid the partnership breaks, you are the one that's now jinxed that partnership. So the game got closer and closer. Suddenly Lance Klusener got us to within one run of victory. And I think that's a crazy thing. I mean, people keep saying how we lost the game to Australia in the semi-final. We tied the game with Australia in that semi-final. It was the days before Super Over. So if you tied the game, you shared 1 point each. And Australia went through on a superior net run rate. And it was quite surreal going back into the dressing room because Hansie and I, we actually got up off our seats. When the scores were tied, we wanted to run up there and lift Lance Klusener. I'm not too sure how I was going to do that. I mean, Hansie was physically a strong man, but I was going to be the guy that with the Hansie who would run out and lift Lance Klusener onto our shoulders. So we in the dressing room were the two players that got up off our seats, where the rest of the guys didn't dare leave the interior changing area and come out and watch the game. They were just watching on the television. So my dressing room story is not a funny one. It's not a interesting one. It's just a sad one because as a South African team, as we were losing the game, Lance brought us back in. And in fact, we didn't lose it, we tied it.
Well, that's what we wanted to know. It's not about funny or, serious one. It's about you been there, been through that. It's impossible for people to understand this motion because you and the whole South African team has gone through the people who are involved there. But I can understand who people were there. And it was so close. All right now it's the final segment. It's 3 predictions. So you have to make 3 predictions about the game, India-Bangladesh game. And it can be anything. Guys, if you think somebody's going to get 100, who's going to win, what score, if Rahim is going to have some sort of a verbal with an Indian guy, anything. What are your 3 predictions?
Well, my prediction is just following on from your prediction in the first set. I predict Shubman Gill to score 100. So I'm taking that away from you. I think he is a great player. He's such a classy striker of the ball, just really elegant. I mean, I know Rohit does it so easily. I think that Shubman is going to do that in the game. I think Kuldeep is going to pick up 3 wickets. And I predict that Shakib Al Hasan is going to box with somebody. He's obviously he's got to be careful. It's obviously match referees and everything else involved, but I think there's going to be a tussle on the field when the game takes place.
Well, I'll start with that only. That it's not going to happen. Not going to happen in India, in Indian grounds. Shakib is not going to do that. That's one thing. You have picked Shubman. My prediction is that I want to see Rohit to continue with the same sort of a rhythm and same sort of aggression that he's been batting, because he's not batting. He's making a statement, not only as a batsman, as a captain as well, that this is the way we're going to play in this World Cup. That's the other thing I want to see. The other prediction that I really want to see Mohammad Shami to get a game. So that's what 3 things I'm looking for. And well, that's how we end this program of ours. Thank you so much, Jonty, being on this show. And I'm sure we're going to catch hold of you for many more episodes as well. And that's it for today. Good night and take care.
Thanks, PJ.